liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the leaves mid skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us, and sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Amen. God bless you. Enjoy the evening. Now we'll have prayer by Reverend Beasley. You can have your seats if you'd like. From honor God by standing. Honor God by standing. Elders said, let's do that if you are able.
Amen. Good evening. The presence of the Lord is here. I feel it. I feel it in the atmosphere. Amen? Amen. Bow your head, please. Let us pray. Dear God, we bring ourselves into your presence. To you we offer our prayers in our praise. This month we celebrate Black History Month and honor the cultures of our brothers and sisters. We remember the legacy of those who came before us, those whose story is woven in struggles and triumphs, in tears of pain, and shouts of joy. We are kings and queens. We are descendant of royalty. Lord, when it's too hard living, we remember you are the great I am, and our source of strength and purpose for each new day. Help us to honor you with our work for justice, healing, peace in our day. Thank you, Lord, for my son Ralph and his team, the vendors, and all who have played a part in this Black Heritage celebration. God, we praise you for all of the award winners and those who support and celebrate them today. Thank you for what they have accomplished and shared from your gifts. Bless Decatur and her team for the nourishment of our body we will receive. Continue to bless, keep us as we help one another, pray for one another, forgive one another, and most of all, show love to one another. God is love. Help us value our future that acknowledges our strength together to come to the table and taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man and the woman that put their trust in you, Lord. Amen.
Who has to lead us a bit early. So I'd like to start with them as opposed to going in the planned order, if that's okay with everyone. This young man, native of Pittsburgh, Kane Chase Patterson. I'm going to be reading through a few bios, and keep as condensed as possible, given the time constraints. Mr. K. Chase Patterson began to appreciate the power of knowledge from his earlier days. After studying at the University of Pittsburgh, Patterson started his professional career at the Urban League of Greater Pittsburgh. While at the Urban League, he established the Black Male Youth Summit, now known as the Black Male Leadership Development Institute, and taught post-secondary prep classes at Wilkinsburg High School. Before working as a consultant and the chief diversity advisor to the largest Panera franchise, Covelli Enterprises, Chase served on the federal liaison to the Department of Homeland Security, Immigration, State, and Education on behalf of Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Doyle. In 2015, he opened Society Men's Grooming Room, an upscale barbershop in Pittsburgh's historic Hill District. Before becoming CEO of the Urban Academy, Chase served in several capacities as trustee, business manager, and chief operating officer, and led the rebranding, relocation, and renovation of the new school. Now, as the chief executive officer of Pittsburgh's oldest charter school, the Urban Academy, Chase has the privilege of working every day toward a personal mission to show all children, particularly Black children, can learn and succeed when immersed in a student-centered, rigorous, culturally centered, and relationship-driven environment. Chase and his son, also named Chase, live in Pittsburgh's Crestline Heights community. He teaches him that there is more good in the world than evil, but we must meet that bad with good resistance as often as we can. I'd like to introduce to some of you, and some of you may know him, please welcome Mr. K. Chase Patterson.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gregory, and Ralph, as always. Thank you for obliging my early departure. I gotta say that I recently read a report from the Pittsburgh Public School Board that was published in 1965, and it highlighted all of the issues around segregation, de facto segregation, and desegregation that the school district was dealing with then. And the key solution to those problems in 1965 was more resources for those with the most need. Well, what's the solution today to the same problems? More resources for those with the most need. Very little has changed, unfortunately, in education since 1965, and I pride myself in knowing that every day I go to work with people who believe that Black children have the ability and the capacity and the capabilities to do it all. And with the right amount of resources, love, care, and compassion, we're going to demonstrate that they can get it done. Thank you, Ralph, for this recognition. Thank you all. Have a good evening. God bless. And that vodka back there is pretty good.
I don't know if you realize that Chase is receiving the Excellence in Education Award from Classic Events. Urban Academy Pittsburgh is a school we started, and students are performing very well under his tutelage. Thank you for your service. Here you go.
While they go over for the follow-up, I just want to make one statement. I'm reading through some of these bios, like all of the bios, even though they've been edited somewhat. It's important that we not only see, but recognize and honor greatness when we are in the presence of that, and we certainly are today. The power and the beauty in this room it's just awesome. And we have to truly just understand that and honor these people who are sitting amongst us, who have done great things and will continue to do great things as long as they have breath within them. Say it loud. It's with pride to welcome you to the Classic Events 10th Annual Black History Celebration Heritage Dinner. Tonight our theme is Business in the Black. Adds yet another chapter that honor organizations and business owners who make a profound difference in both the business landscape and socioeconomic development of this region. We highlight their collective talents, resources, and skills that have enhanced our lives. Also, we bestow the Shirley L. Watson Political Icon Award to deserving political leaders who work tirelessly for their district. Those are the words of Honorable Ralph Watson. He also adds that through the vision of civic leader Shirley L. Watson, Classic Events emerged, producing a trilogy of what is best described as community-based market-specific platforms to include Black History Celebration Dinner, Heritage Dinner, Ladies Who Network Luncheon, Youthpreneur Teachable Moments, Wine Down Wednesday, Business Community Political Forum, and our Salute to Legal Excellence Formal Gala. I'm ready to get dressed up after COVID, if y'all should go to that. These annual events are designed for entrepreneurs to provide effective direct marketing, networking opportunities that have proven beneficial to any business, organization, product, service providers, or political group. Through the platform of cable television, he hosts the award-winning PCTV 21, which happens to be the longest running program on the station. Business Political Affairs cable series, Classic Events, Entrepreneur Platform. This powerful television further escalates the plight of the entrepreneur, business person, or political candidate. As we celebrate tonight, know that we value your support and take pride in bringing together this array of powerful entrepreneurs, community leaders, and politicians. Increasing your network increases your net worth. Honorable Ralph Watson. Thank you.
And again, as we continue to serve you dinner, we're going to move the program right along. And what we're going to do is recognize Reverend Watson. Reverend Watson is running for one of the 9 judicial seats that are available in Allegheny County. Election day is May 18th. I ask everyone in this room is capable to vote, exercise the right to vote. So then she's going to accept the other Excellence in Education Award for need, Dr. Marcia Sturtevant. And of course I don't have my glasses on to read which award she gets. But Brenda, would you come forward, please? Notice her last name.
That's right.
Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Watson. Good evening. God bless everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope your families are well as we get through these different, very, very different times that we're all experiencing. And can we give Ralph P. Watson a hand? That's the 10th Annual Black History Heritage Dinner. This is an awesome thing. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
And thank you to the gorgeous and most talented and intelligent Miss Rita Gregory. And to all the honorees, thank you all. God bless each of you and your families that are here. So I'm here. I came on behalf of Dr. Marcia Sturtevant and NEED, Negro Educational Emergency Drive. If you don't know what NEED does, I think everybody kind of knows NEED because we've been around for 65 years. Anybody in here a recipient of NEED?
Probably. Yeah.
Anybody's child that the child's not here a recipient of NEED? Almost everybody should have their hand raised by the time we finish going through who got money from NEED to go to school. And NEED traditionally gave money for children to go to colleges, to African American children to go to colleges. And they have actually branched out. We have branched out, because I actually am a member of the board of directors. I'm the vice president of the board. And Ms. Tion DeBlanc is the president of the board. And we have branched out so that we no longer just give money for college and universities, but if you're going to a trade school or a business school or something of that nature. We've learned that college is not for everybody. And NEED has given out over $39 million in scholarships.
Beautiful.
Yes. We annually give out 4,600 scholarships to students every year. And we continue, and more need the support of our own community, because the foundations and the people that give money outside of our community have tightened up their belts and they give less and less. So if you could just give $10, like we all did to Obama, $10 a month, that would help me tremendously and help our children and our communities. But I don't want to keep you, and I just want to say thank you on behalf of Dr. Marcia Sturdivant. Thank you, Ralph P. Watson, and God bless you all. Be safe. Thank you. God bless you and your families.
Moving right along, Mr. Samuel Double Black. He's not here tonight. Well, I'm going to tell you who he is. Just a brief synopsis. In case you don't know who he is, he's the director of the African American program at the Senator John Hines History Center. He's the former president of the Association of African American Museums between the years 2011 and 2016, and served on the Executive Council and the Advisory Council of the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, as well as the Program Committee of the American Alliance of Museums. Mr. Samuel Black is one of our honorees. Next we have Mr. Staple in the city, Mr. Mark Bradley Sr. Mark is a husband, father, grandfather, mentor, activist in the city of Pittsburgh for more than 40 years. He's been here. And most of his adult life, he has advocated for such issues as full and fair political empowerment for the African American community, the rights of the next of kin in adoption cases, advocacy for traditional family values, and increase parental involvement in the Pittsburgh Public Schools. For 30 years, Mark was an elected member of the Allegheny County Democratic Committee, representing 3 different districts. Mark has run successfully and won a seat on the Pittsburgh Public Board of Directors, which he served 4-year terms. During his term on the Pittsburgh School Board, Mark created and chaired the nationally recognized Pittsburgh Public Schools annual Take a Father to School Day. This is one event where the fathers and positive male role models are asked to attend any public school and participate in the special activities geared toward male involvement in the Pittsburgh Public Schools. He is a 1975 high school graduate from Peoria High School and earned an associate's degree from Community College of Allegheny County in 1993. Without further ado, Mr. Mark Bradley.
Thank you very much. I'll speak very fast because I know it could be a long evening, so I want to speak very fast. But first of all, let me say to Classic Events and Ralph, the hardest working brother I know. Everywhere I go, he's there promoting us. And so I don't want to tell him again on the phone or leaving a voicemail message or texting him. I want to say it publicly. Thank you, brother. Because if you're not telling the story, then somebody else could be telling it the wrong way. So I just want to say thank you very much for acknowledging him. I have served 4 4-year terms on the Pittsburgh School Board. I'm the founder and chair of the Pittsburgh Public Schools Take a Father's School Day is one-day event where we encourage men to get up, get out, and get involved. It simply means that to have that child, it takes two, okay? And you have to be able to get out and to get involved because it is cool to be a member of the school volunteer team, the PTA, the PSCC, and it is cool to stand up. As men, we love, we breathe, and we cry for our children, okay? And we need to say that publicly so that you mothers will simply understand it. That's the purpose of the Fathers Program. In 2012, we received the national recognition from the National School Board Association for best practices for men. And so we lead here in the city of Pittsburgh, getting over 4,000 men each and every time that we have an event. We've been doing it for 22 years. Finally, to focus on the issue of men, I am asking the men in this building to help me pass the word, because this upcoming election, I'm going to be labeling myself the ladies' man. And what I mean by that is, this upcoming primary, there are 9 vacancies. There are rumors that there are 3 African-American women running, highly qualified, certified, and experienced. They have supported me when I ran. They supported all of us. And so isn't it time that we simply say they are qualified? In Allegheny County, most of the judges are held by white men. There are 1 or 2 African-American women, 1 or 2 African-American men. It's time, folks. It's just time to be proud. So you'll be hearing your names really soon. And when they do, don't get crazy. Oh, she's a woman. Oh, can she do that? She can't make, we make excuses for each other while voting for the other folks. Okay? So make sure the men here become a ladies' man that's primary with me. Out of your 9 votes, make at least 3 of them to those women. And don't forget there are some African-American brothers who are supporting them as well. And you'll still have votes left to support other people. Thank you so much. And can I say finally before I leave, to another hit on Ralph. You know, when you walk into this place, it's amazing. Somewhere, somehow, some member of his staff paid close attention to detail. Look at the colors, look at the tables, look how they're made, look at the arrangements. Who decorated the hoops? You know what I mean? And so it is such an honor to get out and come out when you know that somebody really worked hard to make us feel good. Thank you so much for this award, and congratulations to all the other awardees as well. Thank you so much.
Mrs. Imelda Brown. Mrs. Imelda Brown is a hair and business pioneer. Is she here? Is she here? Pioneer with a legacy to inspire generations in the hair industry. She was born in Alliance, Ohio on May 10, 1941, and moved soon after to the McKees Rock section of town. Later, her family bought a home in Manchester where she started to do hair as a means to generate extra income to help care for her baby that she had at the age of 15. Being ashamed to finish school, she asked herself, what will she do with her life? Her first step was to obtain a high school diploma from home study course, and then applied to Pittsburgh Beauty Academy in 1965. Mrs. Brown's acceptance to the Pittsburgh Beauty Academy was prompted by inquiring her why they could not do black hair at the time. The director was so impressed by her raw talent and progressive thinking that he paid it forward on her tuition. He only asked that when she was out making money that she return the payment. Mrs. Brown did so immediately. And before she left the Pittsburgh Beauty Academy, she left her mark as an advocate and trailblazer for black hair service. Her advocacy led to the success of black hairstyling tools accessories such as hot combs, stoves, and press and curl instructions established at the Pittsburgh Beauty Academy. She even took on jobs cutting the hair of children in Children's Hospital, and even playing Santa for them. She didn't have the money or the experience when she decided to open her business. Naysayers asked her why would she want to do that, of which she replied, "You won't know if you don't ask." She received a small business administration loan, opened her first Jones Hair Center in 1970. She had the most visible location of 3 hair salons in the Jenkins Arcade building in downtown Pittsburgh. Her success was recognized by Alberto Culver Corporation that manufactures hair and skin beauty care products, including Alberto VO5 shampoo, St. Ives, Nexus, and other products. She's even traveled extensively overseas. She did hair shows and tutorials, including one of her most memorable experiences in England that was sponsored by the renowned hairstylist, businessman, and philanthropist, Vidal Sassoon. She takes pride in knowing that she has successfully responded to the question posed as a teenager and a teenage mother to become a pioneer leader in the hair care industry. From straightening combs, curls, to jerry curls, to modern sleek and soft styles, relaxed styles, Mrs. Brown has admirably added to the hair care industry for over 30 years. She retired from the Jones Hair Center in 2017 and today enjoys working and in-home care service part-time. She's a proud mother, grandmother, and delights in supporting the ministry of her husband, Reverend James Brown of Macedonia Church of Pittsburgh, where he teaches Bible study for seniors. Ladies, how about we welcome Mrs. Melvin Brown?
Thank you. I'll only talk a minute, and you can time me. It's easy. First of all, giving honor to God, giving honor to all of, who are those people over there? Are we going to vote for them? Well, if we look, everything is in here, and we have signed up to do that. First of all, I want to thank you, because I really haven't did enough for you. And I was just telling my partner that introduced me to you, Ms. Beasley, that I did not want to accept this award. And the reason why, I was retired, but my friend insisted that I accept this award. And then I thought about it, and Ms. Beasley sent me something where Madam C.J. Walker, she went from door to door for Black products. She walked, and I thought she did this for all of us. I had a car, so I went from salon to salon promoting a product, and it worked. And I was known as the Jerry Curl Queen. I know you guys know that. I'm not going to talk very long, but in the past I haven't supported this with you, and I will do so. And I was just in a picture of you from Vegas. Do you remember Nadine Corners? Oh, okay. And she wanted me to say hi to you. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my 3 tables over there. I want my grandson to stand up over there. I think one just left. And then I have a manager that he managed in the Jenkins Arcade. Stand up over there. I was surprised that he wanted to come. Miss Beasley said he lived so far, and and we heard about this, she said, I'll meet you halfway, that's too far. And he came right away. And there were others, but the tickets were sold out. And I mean, they really, really thought a lot of me, and I didn't know that. My friends are there, my husband, Mr. James Brown, although you can't do your jig, honey, stand up so people can see you. Stand up. So I just want to thank everybody, and you will hear a lot from me. I do want to help. And Rita, Miss Beasley, I thank you for coming and you paid so much attention to me. I bet you said, that's the dumbest problem. Thank you so very, very much.
First, I wanted to say thank you for all that you've done. Last year, the theme of the event was Black Hair Is. As a culture, as a race of people, we spend so much time, money, and energy on our crown, which is our hair. Last year, we did a hair show, we did a hair competition, and we did a full Madam C.J. Walker demonstration. One thing I believe in doing is doing things correctly. And this year, this event was a wrap. And Sheila Beasley called me and she said, hey. And I said, since you're telling me, this, giving me this information and asking me to do this, that's how I'm doing it, because I've never had a Jerry curl. But as people started to say, tell me about you, I became more intrigued to meet you. And I think that every year, classic events, with this event, we have the opportunity to tell our story. And the two things I tell people, I don't want no blue jeans in here. I don't want, and everybody should have a belt. That's something, this is our event. And the Italians can have an event, the Polish can have an event. Why can't we? And I love it when our people come out and they look the part, they dress the part. We are a family, a unit of one. So many friends that I've known for 1,000,000 years. The Barons, Debbie Norrell. I mean, so many people that I've known for many, many years. My cousin Ona from the north side. And Ona, stand up. It comes out with support. Again, my cousin Angie comes from Detroit. We are a universal family. Everybody sitting on this platform has contributed so much, not just to our culture, but to the world. And I personally want to thank you. Again, every year, we have the opportunity to tell our story. What people generally do, they get the award and I don't see them anymore. And you're doing yourself a total, I believe I will. And when you say you're going to pay me fine, yeah. So, we can name drop the people that we know, the people that we in the streets with. But definitely, I hope to see you again. And that's my honor and pleasure. My business cards on the back of there, but to give you that award. And I should have had a Jerry curl juice or something. But it's a straightening coat. And that is indicative of where we come from as a race of people. The straightening coat. Again, hair is such a big thing to us. So I'm glad that you're here.
I just want to say one thing. When Miss Beasley was interviewing me, I told her, I said, I'll tell you all about Jones Hair Care Center, but I won't tell you yet about Jones Enterprises. And that will be our next thing. So thank you.
And piggybacking on the accomplishments of Ms. Melody Brown, I'd like to introduce Tanel Dorsey. Tanel Dorsey, born and raised in the city of Pittsburgh's Hill District, where she began her talented journey. Listen to this, she started doing hair at the age of 9. Tanel gained the courage to blaze a trail to start her own business at age 22. Go Diva Hair Salon. and Ms. Divas Supplies on the north side in 2001. After 2 years, she relocated her empire back to Homestead and birthed Dreams Hair Salon. She lived in Homestead in 1993 and attended Still Valley High School. Dreams Hair Salon and Barbershop is still thriving, and because of this community, it's one of the top salon barbershops in the region. To now broaden her Dreams brand to include Dreams Hair Restoration to help clients with hair loss that can result in a loss of self-esteem, depression, and other emotional issues. She became a certified herbalist and developed her own hair care product, DHR, in 2019. This product was created to help rejuvenate hair follicles due to hair loss, and it's approved and proven. Although Tanel's most prominent talents are her leadership and entrepreneurial skills, her heart, authenticity, and ability to give outweighs any title, awards, and acknowledgments. Without further ado, Ms. Tanel Dorsey.
Just listening, as she read my bio, just makes me so emotional. I really don't want to talk long, because I think I'm going to cry. No,
You're so beautiful.
Thank you. But I just want to, thank you, Ralph, for, acknowledging me and my many things that I do. I don't think much about them, I just do them. And I feel like it's my responsibility in the community as a leader and as a mother, as a stylist, as a salon owner, entrepreneur, all of those things. I just do it and get it done. But I would like to thank my family, my friends, and my legacy. Where's my daughter? Hi, daughter! I want to give a shout out to my daughter. She just got her, she graduated and got her cosmetology license. So shout out to the legacy in the building. And then my son as well, he's in the industry as well. So I just want to say thank you. And yeah, I won't be too long up here because it's a long reminder. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the straightening comb. Okay, it's here. Okay. I just don't know where it is. It's probably in the storage room. I'll make sure you get it.
No worries. We want to get
No, we're going to take a picture.
Oh, okay. We can both hold it.
Reverend Dr. James C. Brooks. Reverend Dr. Brooks is a member of the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, the United Nations National Council of Women of the United States, the Tuskegee Airman Board, the African Diaspora, the Sierra Club, the League of Women Voters, New Future Foundation in Harvard, and a COVID-19 Community Health Deputy for North Versailles. The rights of others has always been a motivating factor. As a child, she was always active in the youth branch of the NAACP and attended the March on Washington, and actually heard Dr. Martin Luther King speak. The Commanding General for the Third Army in Germany attributed her professional contributions to decreasing the high, volatile racial tensions in the military. She was the first affirmative action officer for Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. In 1990, she founded the first Black Lives Matter nonprofit, Citizens to Abolish Domestic Apartheid, Inc. Through her efforts with community members, she prevented land grabbers from taking historic African-American land in Crestes Terrace, Pennsylvania, that's in North Versailles, for those of you who don't know, through the eminent domain. Her nonprofit, CADA programs, earn the right to revitalize the community. Dr. Janice C. Brooks.
Good evening. I'm not jealous. I'm just here to accept her award. Okay. Thank you.
We're going to move right along. If you've ever seen this man dance, you know who he is. Hercules Chico Butler. Veteran, entertainer, author, advocate, and friend. Chico was born December 10th in Orangeburg, South Carolina. He enlisted the Army in 1951 at the age of 18. He received 16 weeks of combat infantry training and was transferred to Fort Lawton, Washington. From there, he was shipped to Japan and on to Korea. He was assigned to the 45th Division, 179th Infantry Regiment, C Company, 3rd Platoon, 4th Squad. He was stationed on the West Central Front Line as a machine gunner to provide cover. He was removed from combat, then reprofiled and assigned as a medic, ambulance driver, after suffering anxiety reaction, which they recognize as PTSD. He was honorably discharged in June 1954. He received the National Forest Service Medal, the Korean Service Medal, and 3 Bronze Stars, the United Nations Service Medal, the Combat Infantry Badge, and our deepest gratitude. He's authored the book Justice Denied, depicting his self-encouragement during the time when he was wrongfully in prison. Hercules Chico Butler's autobiography titled Justice Denied is available to read or buy on Amazon.com. And Chico was just telling me a little while ago that he gave 15 years of his life behind bars. And we're so honored and pleased and proud to have you with us today. Everyone give a warm welcome to Miss Hercules Chico Butler. Nobody wears a zoot suit better than this young girl. I said, no one wears a zoot suit better than you. Come on now.
First of all, I give honor to God who's first in my life. And I consider it an honor to be for an award. And I don't know, I'm lost for words, but I did. I did get 15 years in prison for a crime I did not commit. And my mother was like, what's her name, Angela Davis, out there running around trying to get me together. I came back from Korea, I didn't know my name. That's how messed up I was in the military. Instead of sending me to the hospital, they sent me in jail. And the whole time I was in jail, I didn't know where I was. I thought I was captured by the North Koreans. And when I get out of jail, I discovered that they held me 18 months before you see the first attorney in the criminal justice system. So I'm on parole. I've been on parole since 72. I'm still on parole. I've been on parole all that time. I didn't even have a life. Went to service when I was 18. Come back when I was 23. Went straight to jail. Come on, somebody. And all I want to do is when I see me dancing somewhere, that's because I'm in pain. So I encourage every parent to get a copy of that book, Justice Denied. It's for kids, for people to read that book and look at that documentary that I put it all together. In case I die before I get a chance to tell it on national TV, I got it in a book. And I got it in a documentary. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
I always acknowledge my mother because ain't nothing like a mother's love. And my mother was a Democratic committee woman for 35 years. She was committed to her community and her family. And it was so fitting for me to, thanks. You guys got my back. It was so fitting for me to name an award Council, Shirley L. Watson. Thank you. I'm going to show everybody Lynn's award, and it's so well deserving. Classic Events has recognized Lynn. This is the second time. We did an event a few years ago at our Ladies Who Network event where we recognized media people, Debbie Norrell, Darius Chisholm, Lynn Hayes Freeland, Kelly Fry, and I cannot think of the other anchor, news anchor that was on Channel 2. So we are very diverse in the folks that we honor, and we just don't randomly honor people. We honor people that are movers and shakers and doing things in our community, at the community at large. This is Lynn Hayes Awards.
Okay, I just told this young man that I was going to adopt him. My. State Representative Ed Gainey. This family man is the father of 3. He and his family attend Cornerstone Baptist Church in Leamington section of Pittsburgh. As a state representative, he brought leadership and vision to the neighborhood he represented in the 24th legislative district. His legislative priorities have been keeping families together, the opioid crisis, labor issues, working class constituents, gun control, transportation, education, enhancing communities through economic development. Woo, right. And it goes on and on. Everyone, please get to know this young man. This is a man who resides in East Liberty section of Pittsburgh and is running for mayor. Person who gets down on his hands and knees and works for these communities. He gives his all and still finds time. I mean, like that, he has time for his children, you know, and his wife. And I just respect and adore and admire this young man. Without further ado, please, this is my Mr. Ed Gainey, my next man.
Good evening, y'all. Good evening. How's everybody doing? I can't say enough about Ralph Watson, Classic Events, his mom, and all that his mom put into him. One of the youngest members in Wilkinsburg School District to ever be on the Wilkinsburg Council. He gives that to his mom. I met his dad and his brothers, and Ralph has just always been the patriarch of the family. One that's always took care of the family. And I remember when he first said he was going to do Classic Events and how hard he worked at it. And it's so fitting right now in Black History Month that you are giving me this tremendous honor. I just want to say thank you. And you know the love and respect I've had for your mom, your father, and everybody. So before I go any further, can y'all give Ralph Watson a standing ovation? Come on, let's give him a standing ovation. Come on. The one thing I want to say is that the reason why I love Classic Events is because Ralph brings everybody together. Ralph is a microcosm of Pittsburgh. And I always tell people that it's time to move Pittsburgh forward. And the only way that we can do that is if we unify Pittsburgh. And in this Black history, I'm going to give you a real quick and then I'm going to let it go because when I'm done, you should understand where I'm coming from and why this is meaningful tonight. I'll never ever fall from the journey that it took for all of us to be here. Coming off of slavery, off of boat. Changed names, changed their language, sold into slavery, mom raped, dad murdered, kids sold out, 3/5 of a man. Jim Crow 1, Jim Crow 2, couldn't own land, couldn't put money in a bank, couldn't pray, couldn't go to school, couldn't vote unless you couldn't vote to the 15th Amendment if you was a black man. As a woman, you couldn't vote to the 19th Amendment. The Industrial Revolution that was supposed to open up jobs and opportunities but never came through. Civil rights, white hair, colored hair, all the way into mass incarceration to finally putting the first African American in the White House of the United States of America. See, the journey that we do, the journey that we come from, is why it's all about how we unite. Because much as it took all black people to come together to say they want something, it couldn't have happened without others. And so when I'm here at classic events and I'm seeing him bringing them together from all walks of life, from all social, economic, all racial background, this is the epitome of why we can change Pittsburgh, because together we can move from a two-tailed city to just one. God bless.
Two people I want to acknowledge that supported classic events day one. My very first networking event, Ed Gaming was there. My very first show on BCTV, Ed Gaming was there. Every time I wanted to give up and say, the heck with this, because it's hard to pull people together, you're running behind vendors, you're hustling tickets, you're trying to sell ads in a book, to come to this point, to have beautiful events like this. I don't do nothing that is not beautiful. I see a sea of beautiful people. I see the decor is beautiful. Every time I get ready to walk away, this person sitting to my left would say, cousin, you better go. And she'll drive me from Detroit to support my events. So I know the love she has. It's my first cousin, Angela Wilson Sawyer. And I drove in today, said, I'll meet you at the venue. What time can you get in? I told her what time. She was here. Her and her son over there, and his best buddy, the business partners. They're going to be back in Pittsburgh for my youthpreneur. I'm coming back with youthpreneur, bigger and stronger. When these kids come out of this pandemic, they're going to have some problems. And everybody in this room better recognize that. It's going to be a hot summer. So you can mentor somebody, if somebody can shadow you, it's no accident that I'm giving these young men back here the Funky Fly Project. It's no accident. Can I get Noah to step up here? Come up here, real quick. Come on, real quick. You gotta move. I told you a young man, you're a man in motion. Look at him in a tuxedo. Look at him. This is the future. You know, I feel strongly. Sagging pants is a fad. We must start to instill in our children to have the right look, to get the right job, to be in the right rooms. And right now, this is the right room. Izzy sitting over there. You never catch Izzy. Winnie's sitting back there. You never catch her without her hair down. Like the cutest little outfits on. Both of them. So this is the kind of thing that we've got to stick. I see you winning. So I promise I'm not gonna get my brother's mic tonight. No, I'm not. Okay, we're gonna put this program right along. We still have 5 people. Ooh, and Melita, I think we're gonna do you next. All right, because the Funky Fly Project, just a whole everybody. These kids are phenomenal. You should have been there for the reception. I planned it. The reception. Should have been there for the reception. They knocked it out the park. I've been trying to work with them for a long time. Yeah, it's a family function. When you got the business card, reach out to them. Here you go.
Hey, let's move right along and talk about these young men in the Funky Fly Project. If you've never heard them before, you guys are missing out on something. I am a fan. Straight up, I adore you guys. You guys are ridiculous. So much talent. And then all those attorneys still, right? Crazy, crazy talent. The Funky Flight Project is a funk and jazz group operating out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, consisting of Winston Bell, Henry Schultz, Brandon Terry, and Eric Donald Jr. A powerful combination of skill and virtuosic playing. You would never know by listening that each member of this project is less than 21 years old. Developing a sound well beyond their age, they write their own music too. This quartet fuses classic jazz styles with contemporary funk to create a unique sound that leaves listeners in awe. The Funky Flight Project funds the solistic skills of the players while showcasing the group's inspirational ability to write original composition with unmatched style and grace. Each player gains inspiration from a number of different influences, and their combined sound has been described as spectacular. Each member of the project shines with complex chord changes, difficult rhythms, and jaw-dropping solos, while harnessing the finesse of veteran jazz legends. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these young men, the Funky Flight Project.
Okay, okay, hello everybody. First things first, I'm going to make this very, very clear. We will not be here without the help of Miss Maria Terry. Please stand up. Come on, thank you. As well as the rest of the Funky Flight Project parents who are not here today, but we still honor them as well for getting us to this point. All of us are very grateful for the opportunities of playing here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, including even opening up for Mr. Ed Gainey. I don't know where he went, but when Joe Biden was here, now President Joe Biden was here to play, and we opened up for him. So all the opportunities that we've had here in the city is amazing. And we can't wait for 2021, have more opportunities come up. And yeah, thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for having us.
This next award goes to the Langston Hughes Poetry Society of Pittsburgh. I'll be very brief with their bio. In the beginning was the Word. Langston Hughes Poetry Society of Pittsburgh was founded on an unwavering belief in the power of words. The work of Langston Hughes was the inspiration. Louis Kolar and Desi Bay created this nonprofit organization in 2007 to utilize art as a means of social and self-empowerment. He also inspired to instill hope in current and future generations. The Langston Hughes Poetry Society, known as LHPS, is an inclusive arts collective which has shattered walls of division and invaded a multiplicity of social spaces. The Langston Hughes Poetry Society is operated on a modest budget to make a huge impact. The group is driven and ungirded by faith in God, a love for the people, and a love for the timeless work of Langston Hughes. They are committed to the preservation of the legacy of literary artists who have contributed to the African American experience in America and use educational and cultural presentation, poetry, literary arts, and communications to make a positive difference in today's society. We have representatives from Langston Hughes.
First, I want to say thank you very much to all the Langston Hughes family and to everyone that's been supportive of the youth, especially Dr. Sheila Beasley, our young Beasley, happens to me have a flashback to 60 years ago. I was a kid growing up in rural Ohio, and one day the teacher came and said we had to write a limerick. I never heard of it. My late parents never heard of it. Luckily, I had someone that knew something about it, and we were able to create this, if you let me do this. There once was a boy named Jack who sit on a very short tack. He growled out loud and yelled at the crowd. Now Jack came out with his back. Well, when the teacher returned my poem to me, I had an A on it. I thought, wow, that's what I want to do when I grow up. None of my families understood it, but 60 years later, I still appreciate that A. I still appreciate something that God put inside of me to do that. And Langston Hughes has been a great vehicle for me also. We brought it, and we couldn't have done it without all of you all supporting it. So I want to say thank you for that, and thank Jack.
We have a wonderful executive director, Mr. Lewis Collier, who truly embodies Langston Hughes. And you see Israel up here, little Izzy. She's part of the membership. She participates, she performs, and that's part of our legacy to make sure that the next generation is inspired. So we're all thankful, we appreciate it, and we just thank Langston Hughes for everything he's done. We continue this tradition.
I was in this program after Honorable E. Watson. Thank you, sir.
Someone once wrote, John Moon is the embodiment of what is needed in today's professional environment in government. Impeccable credentials and experience, second to none, the respect of his peers and national reputation, and dedication to consistent improvement in delivering services to Pittsburgh residents. This is written by Mr. Philip P. Allen, President Emeritus, Hall Foundation. If you ask residents in the Hill District North Side of Pittsburgh about John Moon and the service he helped bring to their area, you will undoubtedly see the tangible love and gratitude they feel for one of the early members of Freedom House Ambulance Service. As a pioneer in the field of paramedics and emergency medical service, he has advanced through the ranks at the City of Pittsburgh Bureau of Emergency Medical Services. John's first priority was always to help the residents of Pittsburgh who needed, the sick and the injured. He was born and raised in Pittsburgh. John Moon sums it up best when he says, Pittsburgh is my home, and its people are my family. I have done and will continue to do everything in my power to do right by them. Yes, it certainly has, and it shows. Mr. John Moon.
This is quite an honor, and even though I'm here receiving this prestigious award, it goes to a group of individuals that are much more important than just one person. And what I want you to do right now is take a trip back with me a few years back in 1967. In the city of Pittsburgh, there was a quiet revolution going on. A revolution where you couldn't get the proper medical care into the African American neighborhood. So a group of visionaries decided to tackle this revolution. They didn't take the average soldier that you may see in the service nowadays. They took individuals who society had given up on, the least likely to succeed, hardcore unemployables, and they trained them to be the very best paramedics in this country. So every EMS system in this country owes a debt of gratitude to Freedom House Ambulance Service, which originated in the Hill. They designed the training for the paramedics. They designed the ambulances that you see flying up and down the street. They designed the equipment on them. Even the 911 system that we use today was designed by a group of black paramedics who were determined that they could make a difference in this city. Despite the fact that society said you were the least likely to succeed, despite the fact that society said that you were throwaways, despite the fact that society said, what good will you ever be? The one thing that society did was it made a big mistake. It didn't tell those individuals. It didn't tell them that they were likely to succeed. They didn't tell them they were hardcore unemployers. So they went around doing a job that today the EMS system in this country takes a foundation from. Every EMS system in the United States owes a debt of gratitude to Freedom House Ambulance Service, which originated in the Hill by a group of unemployable African Americans. And this is for those individuals. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cole. Thank you. Thank you very much. Such an honor.
I want this dress. It says Stephanie Smith. I worked in Wilkinsburg for 5 years at the First National Bank of Pennsylvania, where she is now the branch manager. Stephanie Smith is deeply invested in the revival of the borough's business community. Since day-to-day focus is improving financial literacy, business development within Wilkinsburg with the goal of creating a vibrant commercial corridor. Stephanie is a member of the Wilkinsburg Regent Square Rotary and serves as the president until 2019. She's the former vice president of the Wilkinsburg Chamber of Commerce. She also serves as the treasurer for the Trade Institute of Pittsburgh and sits on the board of the Wilkinsburg Community Development Corporation. Her passion is to serve the community in which she works, lives, and worships through volunteering and promoting financial literacy. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Stephanie Smith.
I just want to say congratulations to all of you awardees and also thank you.
Stephanie Smith.
I
know. Stephanie Smith is getting a Community Banker Award. She is a branch manager of the Wilkinsburg First National Bank. She's been there for 5 years and is doing a phenomenal job trying to get people mortgages, small business loans, the whole shebang. Everything she does, everybody in that community by name. She respects you. She's very cordial. She's a very classy lady, and she dresses like this every day going to work. I wanted to say something. My prom date is here. She's up the front. She's working with the Leo Wheeler. She's got the black and white dress on, and she's working at the front door with Michelle Goodman-Jones, who I've dubbed the Empress of Etiquette. So Michelle was over there giving me an etiquette tip on the carpet a few minutes ago, and I said I got to make sure that I acknowledge both of them and thank them for coming out. I see you, Leah. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce you to Miss Shirley Ann Wheaton. Miss Shirley Ann Wheaton was born on January 29th, 1940. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
second youngest of 5 siblings born to James and Addie Smith. Her mother relocated with her 5 young children to Washington, D.C., where Shirley, her brother, attended St. Augustine's Catholic School. Years later, Wheaton and her younger brother, Donald, started boarding at Holy Providence Boarding School for Negroes and Indian children in Cornwall Heights, Pennsylvania. After her oldest brother passed of leukemia and her mother became ill, Shirley and her siblings moved to Pittsburgh with her mother's, to be with her mother's side. She completed her primary and secondary education in Pittsburgh, ultimately graduating from Shemin High School. Later, Wheaton attended University of Pittsburgh's new professional program in the School of Social Work. She has 5 beautiful children: Carol Ann, Linda Leah, Darlene, Teresa, Mark Anthony, and William Walter from her 2 past husbands. The dedicated member of Mount Ararat Baptist Church, Operation Better Block, Rosedale Rain Garden, dedicated to Shirley Wheaton for her tireless work in the communities. Mayor Bill Peduto declared January 29, 2020 as Shirley Wheaton Day. This honor was dedicated during her 80th birthday celebration. Ms. Shirley Wheaton is a community activist and will continue to make her life's work to create a better future for the homeless, students, families, and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Shirley Ann Wheaton.
Thank you. I first want to thank God for being here after 81 years and being able to continue to serve my community. I also volunteer at the VA hospital, so it's been quite a time, 81 years. And I want to thank Ralph for this award. See behind me. He's hiding from me. I'm so proud to be a part of Black History Awards. And I want to thank all of you, my family and friends, 3 or 4 of those tables there, for coming out and supporting me. And thank all of you. It was such a pleasure.
Miss Shirley, you're some kind of special. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. You're so kind of special.
Want to go over and take some pictures?
Okay.
Like many who ultimately changed the world, Nakia Ingram saw a need and decided to address it. Inspired by a void that she observed while working in a school setting for many years, she felt moved to provide a helping hand. This drive led Nakia founding and becoming the executive director of Cultivating Resilient Youth, or CRY, a nonprofit organization that serves urban youth. The mission of Cultivating Resilient Youth is to empower, educate, and mentor youth for success in life through program development, academic preparation, while creating opportunities for social change that build a strong foundation for a successful future. In addition to her many duties, she is a wife to a loving husband, a mother to her 2 children. Her greatest joy comes in being a Gigi to her grandson. You're not just, it's one thing that she always says and has done is saying that you're not just one thing. You can do and be anything that you desire. Nakia Ingram.
I'll be brief. I want to say thank you to Ralph P. Watson and Dr. Frank Garay, who's here for nominating me. I want to say thank you to my mom and my sister and my cousin for being here to support me see a part of their lives to serve them. And just like Ralph said, right now, during this pandemic, they need us. They need us. They need us. So please reach out. Neighbor, kid down the street, along the block, the kids on the block. They need us. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I met this young man about 2 years ago, just briefly, and was so impressed. I was impressed by his background and what he stood for. Mr. Jerome James was born in Pittsburgh and grew up in Monroeville. He's the youngest of 4 children and has 3 older sisters. He resides in Churchill with his wife, Dre, and they have 1 daughter and 1 son. He attended school in the Gateway School District and graduated from Gateway Senior High School in 1995. While in college at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, he completed an internship with the Allegheny County Juvenile Court Intake Division. This gave him his first exposure to the criminal justice system. He graduated in May of 1999 and holds a bachelor's degree in criminology. In February 2013, Jerome was hired as the Deputy of Pretrial Division, Allegheny County Office of Public Defenders. And in January of 2016, he was promoted to the Chief Deputy Director of the Office of Public Defenders. And while in this role, Mr. Jenkins continued to have an eye towards change and took steps forward toward criminal justice reform. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerome.
Thank you. Good evening. First and foremost, I gotta give a shout out to Ralph. When I left the DA's office in 2008, I had a head full of hair, full black beard. I was much younger, trying to figure my life out. But Ralph always spoke life into me, always believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And over the past year, I just want to share something with you, something for you to ponder, you can take with you when you leave. The one thing that's common amongst all of us is time. We're all given 24 hours a day. And what we do with it is up to us. What you become is what you put into it. So I don't know how much longer I have on this earth. None of us do. But the time that I do have left, I'm going to leave a legacy for not only my children, but for the community at large. And as long as I have breath and energy, I'm going to do everything that I can to make this world more fair and more just for all of us. Again, thank you.
I'm sorry to say. He's a very creative and courageous man standing here. He is a leader because he has been chosen to be a leader. And he stepped out on a limb. This was a mighty thin limb. He knew the odds were against him, but he still did it. And gained a lot of respect throughout Allegheny County, throughout Western Pennsylvania. He ran a campaign against the machine. He ran the campaign with very little money, but a whole lot of heart. So when you're out here, this is a street fight out here. We fight every day for our kids, for jobs, for housing, for economic equity. It's a street fight out here. And this guy right here rolled up his sleeves and started duking it out. So I will always have love and respect for you for that, among other things. You know, I call him nephew, he affectionately calls me uncle. And I take that with pride. So tonight, to give him I was listening to the judge, to Ron Jenkins. I couldn't get judge in my head. The Thurgood Marshall Legal Award. He exemplifies anything Thurgood Marshall stood for, represented, and fought for. So that's why he's giving us the award tonight.
I just asked, since he said Ralph was like Uncle, I said, come here, he said, yes. Now listen, last young man, I would get out here and try to bust a move, but you all didn't come here for that. But if there's a line dance to be created, a line dance to teach, hey. Be it Highland Park, be it on Sherman, on YouTube, on Zoom, and you see this young man, how he can store all those moves between his 2 ears is beyond me. But everyone knows this young man, Mr. Rolling Ford.
Thank you. We are grateful to God. We're humbled and honored to receive an award here this evening. A lot of folks know us as an ambassador of dance, but we see dance as a vehicle to help people get healthier, and that's really where our focus is. So a lot of people don't realize that 80% of all chronic illnesses and diseases are preventable with a healthy lifestyle. That means moving more and making healthier food choices. And even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, bad cholesterol, arthritis, heart issues, and other things, a healthy lifestyle can help you reduce. And doctors will say, in some cases, even reverse those things. Okay? So, we're actually going live 7 days a week, free to the general public, to help people engage in healthy movement. Self-care is the most important and valuable part of healthcare. It's not your doctor's responsibility. It's not your health plan's responsibility. It's your responsibility to take charge of your health. Okay? So, we want to just encourage you, make an investment in your health. We have all these disparities in our community. We get sicker and die faster from COVID because of having all the underlying conditions, but they are preventable, they can be reduced, and they can be reversed. All right? So we're working with multiple campaigns. Ralph has had us on his television program and other things to help show people you can and you need to do something about your own health. Okay? All right, thank you very much.
To you, Brother Roland. And thank you for all you do. You're welcome, man.
So many of our youth have benefited from the Poise Foundation, and absolutely, I apologize for not having the bio, but please give us a few words.
Is anybody heard of the Poise Foundation here? Yeah. Amen. So, my name is Cordell Jones. I'm on the board of the Poise Foundation, and I'm blessed to say I'm the founder's son of the Poise Foundation. Amen. Amen. So, real fast, number one, thank you to Ralph Watson, the classic events. But I want to share something very brief. You know, when I was a kid, my father, he was one of the people who used to lecture and share wisdom all the time. I used to be like, oh my goodness, why am I hearing this? I'm drained now, respected now, amen. But he used to say, son, when I'm building Earth Youth Action and Poise Foundation, these programs, I'm building this for your children's children's children. Children's children. I'm like, man, I'm tired of hearing this, Dad. I'm tired of hearing this. So today when I was getting dressed for this program today, my son said, Dad, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm getting dressed because Poise Foundation is being honored. He said, isn't that what Granddad started, way back? He said, Granddad's been deceased for 20 years. He's been deceased for 20 years. Dad, I never met him before. My 14-year-old said, I never met him before. He said, but Dad, I see the fruits of his labor. So when my father said, son, I'm doing this for your children's, y'all hear what I'm saying? For your children's children's children. He said, I'm not worried about what I'm doing for myself. He said, I want the future of Pittsburgh to be able to be blessed by Poise Foundation so that people can be empowered, so black people can for our children's children. God bless you.
One question, did everyone enjoy their evening?
Yes.
What wonderful history lies in this space right now.
Yes.
You know, stories to take to our children, our children's children, will hopefully learn about the accolades and the achievements and the work and the progress that so many in this room have done. I'm very honored and blessed to have been able to be a part of this program today. And I know Ralph will probably have a few words I'd like to say to you before leaving, but I want to thank you, each and every one of you, for coming out this evening to share in a celebration of our local heroes, because they truly are. Ralph Watson.
Who's that?
Okay, that's the last of the awards, but I want to thank Tandy's Catering. I want to thank Tandy. I want to thank Walt Clemens, I see him back there. I want to thank B. Charles Pleasant. I think he may have left, but I want to thank him. There he is. Thank you for your help, helping to get this room together. We had to click and pop, make it happen. But more importantly, I want to thank all of you, all of the honorees, Rico, Debbie Norrell, Katabu, Michelle Dunn. These are all entrepreneurs that are photographers, writers, interesting people with interesting things in their lives. Get their business card, give them yours. Small business is the foundation of our local economy. That's why I do what I do. My tagline is increasing your network, increases your net worth. There's a guy here that I served on the Wilkinsburg Council with, and he may have left, Ron Hill. He drove me from Frederick, Maryland to support this event. I greatly appreciate it. All of you that came out tonight, I thank all of you for coming out. This was a fabulous event. Why? Because you all were part of it. I'm going to give one last plug. I'd like you all to please support these vendors. Please. We've got children's books. We've got body scrubs. We go and buy this stuff from everybody. We got Tupperware over here. Emily Cook, Shalise, they do three out of the 6 events I do every year. They support what I do. There's a guy back there, he's got books over there, Kaka Bruce Barnes. Kaka's been out here a long time fighting the good fight. Is anybody that knows he has. Now he's retired and he's doing his entrepreneur thing. We need to support entrepreneurs. Bottom line in the story. This is a very important election coming up. I will not use my platforms to support career politicians or anyone that does not have an agenda and support what Classic Events is doing. Because what Classic Events is doing is around this room, entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs are in the trenches of business. They need the help. Politicians will come to my events and they pimp us for votes. Then we don't see them anymore. They come to our communities, pimp us for votes. Get elected, go back to that white picket fence, and it's over until there's another election. Your voice is your power. Take it. Don't use it frivolously. Don't be afraid to ask candidate questions. May 15th, I'll be doing an event here. It's my Ladies Who Network event. I'm vice chair of the Wilkinsburg Democratic Party. I've been political since I was 19 years old, when I was elected to my first public office. So I know the game. They retire on our backs, and we're still struggling. So it's going to be a community forum. I'm going to combine this event. It'll be a community forum where you can come and hear what the candidates have to say before you vote for them on Tuesday, May 18th. The 15th is my event right here. It's in the book. You can call me, you can email me. We'll make sure it's going to be a limited, just like here today. It's a limited amount of tickets that can be sold. However, I always do a signature vendor showcase, and that's what you see around the room here today. So again, I thank all of you for coming. Don't want to get too far left. Miss Shirley, you want to say something?
Thank Operation Better Block, Jerome.
I forgot Jerome. There he is.
You're always supporting me.
Yeah, Jerome supports, and I thank you for supporting classic events. Brother Roll.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I was just very close to it. I said earlier, I've been trying to work with this lady for a long time. So here we are. And I hope we have an opportunity to do it again. Yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I did have some cupcakes, the King's cupcakes, but she's been back there texting, and I wanted everybody to walk out here with a cupcake from classic events. I should have did champagne. That would have been cool. Just popped in my head. But I want you all to know that I love all of you all. Appreciate your support. And I hope to see you all again on another one of my events. Like classic events on social media, like and share our posts, because this is what we're all about. I don't care what movie stars are doing. It's all about trying to uplift the community.
Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so I can bring you more videos on subjects like this and many other topics. Please leave any comments in the comment section. Any questions or comments, I'll get back to them as soon as I possibly can. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.